before for you guys here. All right. Okay. So let me just uh, let me just share screen. Yeah, one second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and can everyone see my screen? Just checking. Ah, okay, can see. Yeah. So I just wanted to give like a very brief intro to Notion and show you guys like what are the different possibilities they can do with Notion. So yeah, I mean, who am I? I'm a year two student from the. Actually, I'm going into year three from Renaissance Engineering Program, Computer Science. And so my Notion journey, right, really started off with creating the template for my personal website. So I think actually Aaron, who's in the call, he also went for the work simulation program. So he knows about how I created a template. I can show you guys a template that I made using this. So you see over here, there is the my name is Anirudh Manatil, as well as like my photo. And my email address as well as my website is provided here. So for featured projects, we had work simulation project, just what we did through the session, and the synopsis of what we achieved. So you can scroll through here and you can see what is the deck that we came up with through the program. And the product management course, which is another course that I attended. So analysis on improving UI UX for Coffee Meets Bagel, which is actually a dating app. So I've provided both of my projects over here, project more of my experiences. There's also a self-introduction video where I just sort of explain who I am and my background essentially. Work references. So this is for some of the work experiences that I got them from previous internships and previous experience. So this is from my NS time and one of my officers who was there. And of course, this is a bit outdated, but this is my resume as well. And you can put this all together into one single template. So I think that's the beauty of Notion, where you can sort of combine everything into a single template instead of having to keep toggling back and forth between different stuff. And Notion Plus is actually free for students as well as for student organizations and educators. So you can check out the FAQs on the website, and there's a lot of useful information. So if you look at the bottom right, there's actually a QR code to scan where you can essentially sort of scan the QR code and then get some of the information regarding Notion Plus. I think that for you guys who are based in Indonesia, also maybe you can scan this QR code and gain. I think there's Notion in Indonesia as well, so you're able to get some of that information from there. So the base feature of Notion is actually the pre-made templates. I'll show you guys more about what the pre-made templates are later, but there's like a few pre-created templates that you can actually create and they can actually start using from scratch immediately. You can sort of use that to create the certain things that you want to create. So things like, for example, a club homepage. So this is to manage your own club. And there's like, for example, a group project planner where you can use that to manage your group project. So there's different kinds of templates that you can use. So there's another thing that a lot of students actually feedback once they started using Notion, which was, what if most of my work can be streamlined? Because a lot of it is creating templates, managing stuff. So if you do it manually before, but we want to sort of, do it quickly and want to integrate real-time information as well from the web. So how do we do that? Can we have like a chat GPT agent within Notion that can help us with this? And yeah, we do. So we have Notion AI. This is essentially like a Notion personal assistant. So this can help you summarize notes, can pull web searches, it can manage databases. There are different kinds of functionalities you can do with Notion AI. Right now, I think Notion AI is free for a limited number of tokens on the Plus plan. And students can get access to the Plus plan. So you can use your school email and register and get access to it. And I think that is something that you can do. So what are the use cases for like, as a student, as a university student, or as an entrepreneur, what can you really do with Notion? Yeah, well, basically anything. Because there's tracking, writing, management, summarizing your notes, learning, scheduling. If you want to schedule meetings with investors, things like that, you can actually do a lot of it using Notion. So I think that's one of the beauties of Notion, where you can sort of combine all of your, all of the different benefits that you get from Google Sheets, Google Drive, Excel, PowerPoint. All of this can be combined into a single sort of area, a single workspace. And there's actually a new extension that allows you to create Notion slides also. So Notion is sort of adopting all of those different features together. So essentially the idea is you can just make your own use case and you can probably use Notion for it. Yeah, so that's the idea. You can just create your own use case, and then after that you can use Notion and then you can streamline the work directly because it's a one size fits all sort of template. And I wanted to show you guys one of the templates actually that I think would be super useful. So, but before that, okay, so I think I'm going to send this link into the chat. So this link called here. Uh, just give me a moment. Yeah. So you see this link here called notion.com/templates. I think it's good if you guys can keep this link with yourselves and you can use this directly because this is an amazing link that has really has a lot of different templates on it and it can showcase a lot of different things. So you can just go, let's say that I want to go here. There's the part where you can consult with your different consultants. Um, there is also one second, just a minute, one minute. Yeah. Okay, here. My bad, just a minute. Okay, yeah. So I've sort of searched up for startup. Can everyone see the screen? Oh, yeah, okay, you can see the screen. So I've sort of searched up for startup operations templates within Notion. So you can go to notion.com/templates. You can search for startup operations. So you need to run your startup once you're launching it. So startup operation templates help you streamline workflows. And there are different kinds, right? There's free, there's paid. So you can use the free templates. And yeah, so things like, for instance, task assignment system for teams. So you can view this template. And, let me just share the screen that has opened up. Okay. So you can see here, task assignment system for teams. So you already have a premium template. Get Notion AI for free, may be eligible for 3 months of Notion AI business and AI. You can actually use these links. So sometimes the creators would have links within their systems. They can actually use those systems directly and use those links to get additional benefits. A manager dashboard, for instance, where preparing weekly performance reports or they're scheduling meeting planning agents, things like that. So you can see that there's a lot of useful stuff within Notion because before this, this is like, so this portion over here, this is like one part of like a Google Doc. And then this is like one part of like a Google Sheet. And then this is like its own stuff altogether, right? So now you don't have to actually sort of decentralize everything. Everything is centralized into one single page and one single area. And I think that's the biggest benefit of using Notion, essentially. And yeah, let me see. There's a different template I can showcase also. So I think this is a bit down the road, but there is also a proposal and sales pipeline template as well. So you can take a look here. Management consultant OS. That's what this is called. So to manage clients, projects, meetings, sales, revenue, all in one single workspace. Sales pipeline, what has been accepted, negotiated, sent, draft. This, of course, all the way down the road when you're running like a profitable business already, but these are different projects and these are different templates you can use. There's a sustainability assessment, for instance, win rate analysis. These are different things that you can do. So yeah, I think that's just a rough intro on what is Notion, what are the different possibilities with the tool. And yeah, I'm happy to take any questions, anything that you guys might want to ask. Because I know like this like a quick run through, and it's essentially for me to showcase to Nathan and the team here on how you guys can onboard Notion and what are the different possibilities that you can have with the system.
Okay, thanks, Anirudh. Is there any questions from others?
Yeah, I'm happy to take any questions.
I think while waiting, actually, I have one questions.
Sure.
Um, as you as a campus leader,
Mm,
I think other than templates of Notion, what can
mm.
you offer to us? Like for example, maybe Notion credits or plan something.
Okay. I think that for this sort of credits and things like that, you probably have to collaborate with the creators of Notion. So there are people who are actually turning Notion into a profitable business. So like
Oh,
just now I showed you the two templates. There was a guy's name called Akshay right at the top. So he was the guy who made that template. So what these guys are doing is that essentially they are selling their templates by creating it on Notion, and then they're collaborating with the Notion to have like a fixed price for their templates. And then a portion of them will actually go to Notion also because they're using the platform and they're using the pro version and paying for the tools and things like that. So a portion of it will go to them. So I think if you use their templates, what happens is that you're actually able to sort of extract the benefits where you can sign up for their premiums, you can sign up for their different tools also. So I think that is something that is super cool that you can do with Notion.
yeah, agree. Thanks.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
I can go next. I have a
Sure.
question. Just join the meeting. Quick question, like how can I use Notion for management reporting?
I think.
Like for example, I'm
Hmm.
working in fintech SaaS.
Hmm.
Uh, do you have the template that is good for management to basically they can go through all of the information based on what they want to see it. Do you have any
Okay.
template for that?
Yeah, actually, we can just search directly over here. So you mentioned management reporting, right? Let me just see if there's anything directly made for you guys. Management reporting. Anything. Or
Go
let's
ahead.
say,
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
yeah, so essentially the idea is that so the way it works is that once you go onto the online link that I had sent inside the chat, right? Notion.com/templates. You can actually use it to directly search for the different things that you're looking for. So for management consulting, I think that there are some of management reporting, sorry, there are some pre-made templates within that you can utilize to sort of consolidate everything into a single report and a single dashboard. And there's also a new extension for Notion. You can search this up online where you can actually use your sort of export your Notion assets into like a slide deck of Notion itself. So those are some of the tools you can check out. Let me just open up one that I can see. So for instance, okay, I think there's one here that you can utilize. Okay, yeah, let me just share screen to this. This might be a simplified template, so I'm not very sure if this is something that you're looking for, but you can see there's a CEO reporting dashboard over here by this made by this team called Nation for Business. So you can actually view the template. I think that there's a about section where they've spoken about what has been going into behind the development of the template. And let me just share the opening. Yeah. So this might be pretty simplified, honestly, but you can see here, right? There's like KPIs, documents, reports, priorities, different things you can click and you can open. So priorities, for instance, has been here. KPI status distribution. So distribution KPI status, active priorities. And yeah, so some usually the way these templates would go is that some parts of it are paid and a lot of it is free. So you can actually use the free stuff, and then for the paid stuff, you can actually use Notion AI, like limited credits within Notion AI to transform that into something that you can start utilizing for free also. So you can see there's a calendar here, cal.com, and reports also, for instance. So different reports, investor update report, marketing performance report. So this is how you can sort of do reporting. Let me just send this link inside the chat also, in case you guys are interested to use this. Let me just send it into the chat. Yep. And yeah, I hope that that helps a little bit with like your query as well.
Yes. Well, thank you.
No worries, no worries. I've sent it inside the chat, so you can actually use it directly. So happy to take any more questions or yeah, I mean it's just supposed to be like a rough session where like I'm sort of helping like Nathan and his team onboard Notion onto your different templates, sort of showcase to you guys what exactly are the different possibilities and benefits with the Notion, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask
Mm.
whether we can embed Notion to our web page, for example. And also, secondly, maybe like tracking data like forms or maybe, yeah, like that. Can we like integrate it to third party or something that might be useful?
Embedding Notion onto a platform, onto a web page. Okay. So it's able to pull the data directly from the live web page. Is that what you're sort of referencing when you mean embedding it into the web page?
Yeah.
I think that's possible, but it's with the premium plan, not with the free plan.
Oh.
So I think that's possible. You can actually connect it directly to a website and use it to pull data. That's how they do a lot of these database automation and optimization, by pulling data directly from it. So it's possible. It's just that it's not so it's not allowed in the free plan. It's only allowed in the paid plan. So yeah.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. Okay.
I think a follow-up question. How we be an expert in Notion? Do you have any tips or suggestion how to
Okay,
learn?
just give me a moment. Let me open up the page for that. So Notion. Okay, here it is. Notion Academy. Okay, so there's this platform called Notion Academy where you can actually learn directly from it. So let me just share screen for that. I'll send you the link. Yeah, I'll send you the link instead. So it's inside the chat also. It's a Notion Academy. You can use this link to learn about Notion and learn about the different features. So they'll go through a very specific step-by-step way of earning credentials, earning badges of Notion, essentials path, workflows path, advanced path, Notion AI path. And there are different lessons. So there's 3, there's 4, 5, 3. And you can also become a Notion certified admin, featured lessons as well. So you can actually use this. So this is the best way for you to learn about Notion essentially. Yeah.
I see. Awesome.
You can actually learn through this directly. So I think that is super cool.
What is the use of the certified admin path?
So I think that the biggest benefit, right, is that when you're applying for certain companies, especially for like startups, essentially, they're actually looking at you having prior experience in Notion. So they look at you having prior experience so as to, sort of take you in, onboard you, because they're trying to optimize their own workflows and their own systems also. So having prior experience in Notion will be a super big asset essentially in that area. And I think that is something that you can utilize for your own benefits. And so if you're able to get like these badges, it acts as like a certification for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there are no more questions, I'm happy to answer more. You can actually so let me just drop in my LinkedIn into the chat. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn and then you can ask me like any questions that you have. So just give me a moment. I'll just send you guys my link. So you can use this to directly ask me any questions that you have, and we can use this to sort of just give me a second. Okay, let me send it. Okay, yeah. So you can use my So I've sent my LinkedIn into the chat. You can use this to ask me any questions that you have, or you can connect with me and send me like a request and see if there's anything to be asked, or any further questions you have, or anything you might have even about the Notion CL program also. You can use that to ask me directly. Yeah, and that would be great. Okay. Yeah. So Nathan, anything else?
Do you use Notion inside your carbon credible like operations so far?
So I used it for my carbon credible operations when I was starting out. So let me see if I can share my screen for something. Just give me a moment. Let me try and share screen for. Okay. Yeah. So you can see here, there's this thing called a carbon project workspace. So this is something that I started off when I was like super early, and I just wanted to explore more about carbon projects. So like different core carbon accounting concepts. So these acts as like notes as well as like an experimentation space for me. So for example, there's like a database that I built called carbon projects. It's like a very small thing. Right? So Kalimantan Forest Conservation Project, or for instance, some avoidance project. So things like that, or Vera under review. So you can see there's like different kinds of projects that I utilize this for. Um, you can also see like a carbon project risk dashboard also. So you can see here page contacts, high risk projects also. So like essentially this page here, so you can see this entire part here is actually being carried over from different like primary pages. And here you can see the high risk projects. So like example, Oregon reforestation pilot. So credibility analysis, review date, registry. So these were things that I built up and I wanted to first explore how Notion is being used in the carbon market space. And this also helped me streamline a lot of my work for Carbon Credible also. Because I could better understand the different concepts that were going on behind the process. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the platform. Yeah, and yeah, let me see if there's anything more. Yeah, so you can see here, right, for example, Gujarat industrial efficiency upgrade. Again, there's an additionality check. So these are different documentations that I used to sort of keep everything together. I think so. Just now, Philbert asked a question on how you can demonstrate proficiency in Notion, right? So this is one way by creating templates and by using this as like projects within your resume also. I think that this is super useful. So verification status, key risk notes. So yeah, sort of combining a lot of different items together. Actually, this might look really simple, but there's a lot of different aspects being taken into consideration. Like how do you link formulas together in Notion? How do you utilize the Google Sheet part, the Google Docs part, the Google Slides, all of this coming together into like a single portion in Notion. I think those are different things that you're looking at. So credibility analysis. Yeah, just a lot of different kinds of items, right? So example, like this is like a table. So in Google Docs, it's just like one table. You can't like click inside or anything. But here, you can click into the different aspects. So like baseline deforestation assumption review or Kalimantan forest project. So you can click inside, you can see more details. So it's like everything is sort of linked together into one single network and one single space. And all of this is on the free plan. Okay, none of this is on the paid plan. All of things I'm showing is all on the free plan. So I think that is like another super interesting and useful part of Notion. Yep.
I think follow-up question: how to be productive in Notion? Because I can see you have a productivity workshop. Do you mind to elaborate more about it?
Yeah, okay. So for productivity, let me okay, actually let me just share screen right away. So it's one of the main things that they are showcasing here for Notion. So let me see which one was this again. Okay, CEO reporting dashboard. Okay. So if you go here, you can see right there's a you look at the third thing. It's personal productivity. So that's what I mean. It's like the main portion of personal productivity. And if you click on this, you can see there's a lot of so there's habit tracking, personal goals, journaling, personal home, notes and knowledge, personal planner. And you can actually filter here. So I'm gonna go for the free stuff and I'm gonna go for the actually you can use both Notion and Creator. So let's say like a planner. So I think like a habit flow. Let's see this one, habit flow. To view the template. So this is by a creator. Actually, there's Notion-based planners and there is creator-based plan based templates. So these are like the creator-based ones because they're developed by like an external party. But there's also stuff developed by Notion that you can filter for when you're using the platform. So I think it's super cool because you can see like stuff like daily momentum, habit track, and progress dashboard, for instance. And you can really look through all of this. So different aspects. Yeah. Daily habit log, for instance. So you can input more details inside. These are things that, and if you want to just use the template immediately, you can download Notion desktop and then you just click on start with this template, and you automatically just start with it. Yeah. So there's a lot actually. There's a lot of different templates for personal productivity that you can start utilizing.
I see. I have a last question for you, Nero. Like,
Sure.
I'm getting like every day I'm getting like 99 plus inbox in Notion. What should I do with that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I always got like 99 plus inbox notification from Notion. Like, how do I do? Because I have like a workflow, so I got notified every time there is a changes of the status.
Oh, okay. So notifications regarding Notion like updates, is it or?
Correct.
Notion updates. I mean, usually most of the Notion updates, they're automatically integrated into your Notion desktop. So you're not going to be missing out on anything if you think about that. So don't worry about like missing out on like new features and because usually those are like directly coming in. I think the reason why you're getting so many emails is because actually Notion is also a startup. I know it sounds like super weird, right? Because it sounds like very established and very popular and very, very wide scale, but really they are a startup. They operate on a startup model. And so because they operate on a startup model, a lot of their features are in continuous development. And I think that is something that is super cool because you're in like this sort of rapid phase of just iterating, right? You're able to integrate a lot of new features inside. So that's why you're getting so many like notifications. Every day there's like a small update. Every day there's like something new happening within Notion that they are continuously integrating and improving on. Yeah. So if you can use those emails and stuff like that to just understand what is coming out. And I don't think it'll be too much of a hassle if you know like sort of like ignored it because actually all of the updates are directly integrated into the software.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So any more questions or are we good to wrap up because I'm free for more questions also and you can also drop me a text via my LinkedIn if you have any further questions or you have anything that you want to inquire about.
Actually, I'm curious about as you just now show the templates, right? And I'm curious about how we can use that as a team
As a team,
than one person
okay.
who operates the workspace.
I mean Notion is a collaborative workspace so you can actually just directly share it with your team.
Oh,
Actually, you can just share your team members' emails and everybody can just collaborate directly. It's like Google Docs. It's essentially like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. The unique differentiating factor of Notion is that you don't need a separate Google Doc or a separate Google Sheet or a separate item all together for this. You can just sort of combine everything together. I think that's like the main USP of Notion.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so actually you can collaborate using Notion very easily, to be honest with you. You can just like, send it out directly. You can just like create a template, share, send it out. Yeah.
What is Notion Web Clipper?
Sorry, Notion what?
Web Clipper.
Web Clipper. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually an extension that allows you to save web pages with Notion Web Clipper. Ah, okay, okay. So essentially, what you can do is that you can uh basically take like any web page that you're viewing or that you're browsing. So I'm pretty sure, like for instance, if you're doing like competitor analysis, right, for like different companies, let's say you're working in like management consulting, you're doing a competitor analysis. Once you find like a particular company's web page, you find like personal details, well, like you find like a lot of details within that the web page, you can just like screenshot it directly and it would directly feed into your Notion. So it's what I mentioned earlier about like that direct processing where it feeds in directly and then you're able to like create like a dashboard out of it. So that's the idea behind the web clipper. So any page of the internet, you just add it to your workspace directly and you can read it or edit it later. So it helps you to like, just take any content they are viewing on the moment and just like directly export it out to your personal Notion workspace.
Oh, interesting.
That's like actually there are a lot of new extensions also for Notion. You can actually find all the Notion. Let me just send the so there are like certain tools where they have extensions. So it's a Notion connections and integrations. There's this here. So you can use this link. Let me send it into the group chat also. So Notion connections. So this is something they can use. So this shows you how you can connect Notion with a lot of your um, different apps. So you can see here like there's like Slack, there is Google Drive, there is GitHub, Notion AI, Teams connector, Figma. There's different kinds. So Datadog, Panther, Splunk, Nightfall AI, Loom videos. So a lot of different extensions and connections, and a lot of them are free actually. So let me just share screen for a very quick moment to show you guys. That's for the Notion Clipper. Let me share this instead. Yeah, so you can see here explore connections in Notion. You can see there's so many. Datadog, Panther, Nightfall AI, Loom, Canva, Graphy for data visualization. You can see here it's all free. So Streamlit apps, you can actually bring your Streamlit apps. So like all of your little prototyping and bring it directly onto Notion, sketching, Pinterest. I know Pinterest isn't that popular nowadays, but even Pinterest, Tableau is another amazing one because now you can actually directly connect it to Notion and you can view your visualizations there. So you can actually host a database within Notion and have your Tableau visualizations happen in Notion also. And even your GitHub. So GitHub is super cool if you want to utilize it for your personal coding projects. You want to sort of bring like a direct, like, let's say you just, this is like a use case. Let's say you want to create like a project website where you have your personal projects all in like a single website with like descriptions and things like that. Then you can actually create it using Notion. Then you connect it to your GitHub and get Notion AI to pull the data from your GitHub directly and add like certain sections that you want. So like description, collaborators, date of creation, skills that I used, and all of this, right? So you can actually create your personal website just by prompting alone, which is really amazing. Yeah.
So another question, Anirul. I've browsed to Notion. I can see there is a developer product. Like, what is the use of Notion CLI? CLI.
Notion CLI. Okay, just give
Yeah,
me a moment. Let me
I
open up the
mean,
page.
have you used it before?
Not
Or do
really. That's why I don't really use the Notion CLI because I'm not really like a developer side. So I don't use Notion CLI very often. But yeah, you can utilize, you can look, check out the, you can check this out directly in this link here. Just enter. Yeah. So you actually directly check it out there. It's mostly to manage, oh, it's to manage and deploy Notion workers. Okay, so those are more advanced stuff actually. Notion workers are a bit more advanced. So it's like pull your data directly from the, so it's like what you mentioned earlier, right? About like pulling data directly from databases, from live databases that's constantly changing, real-time data processing and agentic dev. So Notion agents and workers. So that is for the Notion CLI is actually used for that instead.
I see. Thanks, Anirul.
Yeah, that's for developers. I have sent the documentation into the chat group. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can utilize for it. So like creating your first worker. Yeah, there's actually a page on how you create your first like Notion worker and what you can use Notion workers for. Yeah, so extend Notion essentially. Write code, deploy it with the Notion CLI and Notion hosts and runs it for you. So is to create like new AI tools that you sort of connect your Notion AI with the new tools that your custom agents can call and essentially sync your external data. So let's say like I have so this is for like a very big use case, right? Let's say I have like a big database of like factory data somewhere. Let's just say or like factory operational data. So it's like a huge database from there. You can use the Notion worker to pull that data into a Notion database, or sort of create one in Notion, and then have it directly linked to Tableau or to one of the other platforms for visualization and reporting. Then every change that happens in the factory database is actually reflected in your visualization directly. So that's what it's actually mainly used for developers to utilize. So I hope that has clarified. Okay. That's good. I mean, this session is just like a short session to like help you guys like on board onto Notion, see what are the possibilities, and give you guys some starting resources. So I think like a lot of the links I sent in the chat are like starting resources that you can utilize to better start off with the application and start off utilizing it. So any more questions? Any more clarifications? More than happy to assist and help. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. So Nathan, anything else you want me to discuss? Do you want me to bring them through anything else, or do you want me to show them Carbon Credibles page or anything that you need me to do?
I think that's all for
Okay.
us. And
Okay.
yeah, maybe you can introduce more about your carbon credible.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So maybe let me just share screen with our web page directly. So we built this using V0, so it's vibe coded, but regardless, I think it's So what we are doing at Carbon Credible is essentially we are trying to make carbon credits transparent, verifiable, and trustworthy. So I think the word carbon credits might not be very familiar to some of you here, but what carbon credits basically mean is that you can think of it this way. Let's say I'm like a big factory that's like producing emissions somewhere, and my company is wanting me to cut down my emissions. The only problem is if I want to cut down my emissions, I need to reduce it at source, which is directly at my workplace and my factory. And that's not as easy as it sounds. It's spending a lot of money. You have to import sustainable processes within your factory and within your workplace. And that's really, really difficult and it costs a lot of money and a lot of time. So, so let's say that we don't do that. If we don't do that, then we have to pay the carbon tax, which is even more expensive and it's getting more and more expensive day by day as governments are pushing more for sustainability. So what do you do, right? It's sort of like a difficult situation. Carbon credits is a way to sort of levy off the situation. Because the idea behind it is that whatever that I'm producing in my factory that is above my limit, I'm going to cut it somewhere else. So the idea would be very simple. Let's say that I'm like a shell factory in Singapore and I'm producing like 20 units of carbon above the limit, above the threshold that's given for me. So that 20 units, I can actually levy it off by planting like a reforestation project somewhere in like Africa, for instance. Then that project that consumes like 20 units of carbon from the air. So that's like net zero already. So I'm able to levy off the carbon tax. That's essentially the idea behind the credit. The only problem with it is that a lot of times it's not verifiable and it's not transparent because a lot of the processes are still manual behind deciding whether if the project actually consumes 20 units of carbon or not. Because let's say it only consumes like 4 units or 5 units, then you're essentially doing greenwashing, right? Because the credits are not valuable. They're not contributing to any real emissions reductions. And that's where we are coming in to make sure that they are transparent, feasible, and trustworthy. Maybe just a quick run through of. So we actually incorporate quite a number of different signals. So like AI document analysis, satellite verification of the area, and most importantly, this is the factor that makes us unique from other people, is a community impact. So being able to understand whether if we launch a project on the ground, how it's going to affect the community. To us, that's the most important because more often than not, a lot of greenwashing projects happen when the communities are not involved. So we're gaining the community input directly and making sure that the project actually delivers real reductions on the ground. And that's sort of the idea behind it. And eventually it's going to create a feasibility score and we are going to detect certain risk flags also. So you see, uploading carbon project data, analyzing it together, getting a feasibility score. So to fight greenwashing, improve transparency, and enable trusted investment. So whatever investments you're pouring into the project is actually reliable, trustworthy, and you will create real emissions reductions also. So you actually try our demo in your content. So maybe I might share the link to my demo inside the chat. So this is our front end. It's just the front end right now. So we haven't integrated the backend AI technologies yet, but I've shared it in the chat group and you can take a look into it as well. So that's the rundown on what Carbon Credible is. Just a very quick like run through of what we do and
Who is your target market?
okay, for us actually we are looking at the governments and the NGOs because we realize that our product is more fit for the legal route, more so than specific developers on the ground. And it was through a lot of investor conversations, a lot of partner conversations, we realized that actually they are the best audience for us because by connecting with them, we can sort of implement our product as part of a pipeline where we are doing ethics and regulation. So this will ensure every project is actually verifiable and feasible. More so than getting companies to invest in the product, we're getting governments to invest in the product.
I see. I mean, I'm new to this kind of stuff, so it's easy to know more.
Sorry?
I mean, I'm new to this kind of carbon stuff, so just to learn today.
Okay. No worries. Actually, let me see. I can find there's a resource that I used last time to learn about carbon markets and explaining what carbon markets are. So we actually use this directly from the UN actually. So what are carbon markets and how do they work? If you're very interested in this, because there's a lot of scope for technology inside. So I've sent the link in the chat also. So I know there's a whole bunch of links in the chat now, but yeah, you can use those links to like actually maybe Nathan at the end you can send out the recording along with the links also so that people can utilize the links. Yeah, so that's the rundown on what Carbon Credible is. So Anything else, Nathan? Do you want me to showcase anything else, or are we good to go?
Actually, in Carbon Credible, are you looking for like teams to collaborate, like technical teams or something?
We are looking for some form of technical guidance, of course, to further refine the architecture, because that's what we've not really done yet. So we haven't refined that architecture, and it's still like very early stage in terms of that. And I think that we are looking for like a person with some experience who will come in and sort of guide us through that process. Then that's something that we're looking at. But more importantly, we are looking for mentors who can connect us to the United Nations. That's what we're really looking for. So I think that maybe just to share, actually, Nathan is running the Fydemy Accelerator program, and Carbon Credible recently got first place in the competition. So we're getting into the lift off accelerator for that. And I think maybe one thing that I would really love to get is a mentor from the United Nations, or someone who can connect us to the United Nations, because that would be most helpful for us. And that's the route that we're trying to take right now.
Okay, cool. Actually, I want to also like share screen about how Notion can actually integrates to the Fydemy.
Mm,
In the rough plan actually. So actually, most of the startups that join to our accelerator
mm,
actually need some of the like teams, technical teams, maybe like marketing teams like that.
mm,
Perhaps like Notion can fits to that type
mm,
of role to us.
mm,
So there is a public website to list all of the startups
mm,
workspace, so anyone can join. And
mm,
as the founder of startups who join to our program, they have internal workspace on Notion, and they have like dashboard also to like manage the role openings and
mm,
also see the application list, like
mm,
so that our community members who don't participate in the accelerator, they can contribute to the startups.
mm.
Yeah, that's the point. I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
if Notion can fix this.
Yeah, it definitely can. It's able to pull from a public website and queue applications list and internal workflows. Yeah, that's definitely possible. It's just like better if it's possible with the how much of it is possible with the free plan, how much is possible the paid plan differs a lot. So we have to look into that definitely. But I think as a student you can have access to Notion Plus, and this is something they can explore with
Okay,
Notion Plus. Yeah.
so we need to upgrade to the pro version.
So Notion Plus
Oh,
is free if you have a school ID. You can apply for it with your school ID.
okay, yeah, let me try.
Apply for
Okay,
your school ID. Yeah. So just create an account with your school ID and then drop me a text afterwards, and I'll connect with the Notion lead who I know who's working in Notion, and I'll try to see if there's anything that we can do.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much, Anil.
No worries at all. Think Yeah, so that was a great session where I could just sort of showcase the functionalities behind Notion and sort of show to you guys what is possible in Notion. I think that Jeremy and Aaron didn't really ask anything yet. So if you guys have any questions, right, just drop me a text or connect with me via LinkedIn, and you can just ask me any questions that you have, and I'm more than happy to help assist and sort of respond back. I think it's a wonderful period that we're going through, and yeah, as like a Notion campus leader, I'm really trying to expand the reach of our product and reach more communities also. So I think that is another thing I'm trying to do, and really optimize workflows and sort of help out with different kinds of aspects of work and business in general.
Okay. Oh, maybe you can share also why you actually want to become a campus leader of Notion initially. Just
Okay. Okay. So I made my personal website before I applied for Notion Campus Leader, because as I said, I was in the same program as Aaron. Aaron joined it quite recently, but then I joined it very long ago called I was actually the first ambassador for the program in Singapore. They're called the Work Simulation Program, and they're supposed to tie in students to different internship opportunities. And actually, I don't know if Aaron, can you speak right now? If you can speak right now, you can share a bit about your experience in the program also, because he was in the program after I joined. Yeah, if he can speak, I don't know if he's able to speak right now. Aaron, I don't know if you can hear us. Uh, Oh, okay, if you can't, then it's fine. I think, yeah, but essentially it's just a program where, that when I showed you my personal website, there was that initial project that I showed, right? That was called Work Simulation Project. So I did that through that program, and I made my personal website, and that website got me into the Notion Campus Leader program. And I think the reason why was because I thought, okay, Notion is super cool. It's a when I first heard about it, it was very new at that time, so I didn't really know a lot about it. Then I was like, oh, okay, actually, there's a lot of possibilities. They helped me with like my carbon project work, helped me with Carbon Credible. And I was like, okay, yeah, let me try with this. And actually, it got me into a US startup for an internship. So I did 8 months of internship with a US startup because they wanted to onboard Notion onto their workflows also. So I said that I had prior experience. They were like, okay, this is cool. Maybe we can take you in. And yeah, I did 8 months remotely with them from Singapore. So I have a lot of gratitude towards the product, really.
Yeah, yeah, great experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
Interesting
Okay.
story.
Hmm. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Hmm. If you're too shy to ask, just feel free to drop it in the chat. Or yeah, again, as I said, you can connect with me directly and ask me any of those questions, and I'm more than happy to answer. No, I think it's about 9 already, so yeah, because we're quite late for them also. Yeah. Okay. All right, great. So Nathan, anything else?
No, I think that's all
Hmm.
for the session.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay. And yeah, so if you guys know any other clubs or any other student clubs or student organizations who need onboarding onto Notion, right?
Okay.
You can reach out to me and I'll have a session with them.
Yeah,
Also,
sure.
how we had with this. So this session was supposed to be for Fydemy to sort of gain understanding of Notion and see what are the possibilities and onboard it directly. So a small group session for that to really happen. And I think that helped out super great. So yeah, more than happy to
Yeah,
help out. Looking forward.
sure. We'll let you know.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Catch up again.
Okay, thanks Anirudh for being speaker for this night sessions,
No worries. Yeah.
introducing Notion to
Yeah.
my community.
Yeah. No worries on that. No worries. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's all for this sessions.
Mm.
Thank you guys for joining.
You guys for joining and yeah, wishing
Okay,
you guys the best.
the end.
Bye.
Okay, see you later in the next event. Bye.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that was not bad. That was not bad. I got to show